That overwhelming surge of panic or anger over a minor daily stressor is the sound of an internal defense system springing into action. It is a protective mechanism, shielding a hidden emotional wound from being touched or exposed. Dr. Gabor Mate developed a psychotherapeutic method called compassionate inquiry to decode these exact reactions. The method reveals the specific body states, implicit memories, and hidden assumptions that form the real messages our words often conceal. This organizational chart of the psyche maps out the internal family system. At the top is the self, representing your calm, compassionate core. At the very bottom are the exiles, parts of you often trapped at a childhood age, holding the pain of past trauma. Sandwiched between them are the protectors, whose entire job is to keep those wounded exiles locked away so you don't have to feel their pain. Those protectors operate in two very different ways. Managers proactively manage your life to avoid triggers entirely, often manifesting as severe perfectionism or a harsh inner critic. Firefighters are the emergency responders. When painful emotions break out anyway, firefighters deploy extreme distractions, like binge eating or endless scrolling, to extinguish the feeling at any cost. Healing becomes possible only when we stop treating these protective mechanisms as enemies. They are internal security systems, doing the jobs they were hired to do. To progress, we must learn to work with them rather than against them. This diagram of the body shows where the internal dialogue begins. Protectors signal their presence through physical sensations. A sudden tight chest, shallow breathing, or a knot in the stomach are clear indicators that a part has been activated by a stressor. Once you locate that physical sensation, you apply a framework known as the 4 F's: find, focus, flush out, and feel toward. You sit quietly with the physical feeling until it takes on a persona, mapping the tightness in your chest to the rigid protective manager working behind the scenes. A common mistake is trying to rush past this protector to reach the wounded inner child. If a manager feels bypassed or ignored, they will increase their resistance, making the underlying trauma even harder to access. Negotiation is required. First, thank the protector for keeping you safe all these years. Second, acknowledge the specific job they are doing right now. Third, ask them what they fear would happen if they stepped aside. By addressing their specific concern, you prove that your adult self is capable of handling what lies beneath. This negotiation transforms the internal dynamic from a state of friction into one of cooperation. By acknowledging the protector's fear, you establish the trust needed to safely approach the vault. With the protector's permission, your adult self enters the memory where the exile has been trapped. This is the witnessing step. You do not force the child to relive the raw trauma. You simply listen and understand what it was like for them in that moment. Next comes the corrective experience. Your adult self steps into the event and provides the exact safety or defense the child lacked. You might shield the child, speak up to an adult, or offer comfort. You are providing the emotional resolution the child never received. Before bringing the child out of that past timeline, look closely at what they are still holding on to from that experience. You must ask the exile if they are ready to release the burdens, the negative beliefs and heavy emotions they absorbed during the event. Once they agree, you retrieve the child. You guide them out of the past and into the present, assuring them they never have to return to that time or place. They step into the present, still carrying the burden like a heavy backpack. Pain is carried. It is not hardwired into your DNA. In the unburdening step, the child chooses how to release it. They might visualize throwing that heavy backpack into a rushing river or a consuming fire, physically separating the emotional weight from their identity. The historical facts of the memory remain unchanged. However, the emotional charge once tied to those facts is disconnected, allowing the internal system to remain calm when the memory surfaces. Releasing that burden creates an emotional vacuum. You fill it by inviting the inner child to pull in new qualities they want going forward. They draw in courage, playfulness, or calm, filling the space where the pain used to live. Finally, you integrate the system. You present the newly healed child to the managers and firefighters. Seeing that the wound is healed, the protectors realize their extreme defensive roles are no longer necessary. They can relax and choose new, healthy functions within the system. This flowchart outlines the complete path to internal healing. Notice your body state. Find the protector. Negotiate for permission. Witness the trapped exile. Unburden the pain. Invite the light. You can download our cheat sheet outlining the 4 F's and the complete unburdening sequence using the link on screen. Use it the next time a minor stressor triggers a major reaction. Authenticity dictates that we, not externally imposed expectations, be the true authors of our own lives. By listening to your protectors and healing your exiles, you shift authority away from your reactive past and allow your compassionate self to lead.